which is where Titania is.
Okay.
So are you telling me that Vitus teleports into the middle of this RV?
Yes, because Kalmir was unaware that Rose is there.
Okay, so I'm guessing that's some paradox for you.
Yes.
Well, I don't think it's a paradox roll.
No, it's the essence. Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce that word, but it's that one. She'll just think it's something else, and she'll forget.
Vitus kind of...
She is a hunter. She probably knows what supernal magic sort of is.
As soon as Vitus is inside that RV, he's going to run for the specific area in the RV that was prepared directly for him.
Under the bed.
Not quite under the bed, but...
And so it's been an hour. I don't know if Tullus is here yet, but I'm going to start gathering the rest of the group. It worked. Yes. Come.
Tullus would have shown up by now. I imagine he's not taking a casual stroll through the city.
No.
He probably would be here by now, yes.
Military runs that he could carry on for, miles as needed.
Yeah.
So one by one, people pop into existence in the RV.
Tullus would try to tap you on the shoulder to get you to go in before him.
Me?
Yeah.
Doesn't work that way. I need to push you through. If I go through, you can't go through.
Can he roll a dexterity roll here to grab him as he's pushed through to pull him through at the exact same time, essentially?
It's not. It's not a portal. You don't see anything. I'm basically touching someone and they disappear.
Ah, okay. Fair enough. All right.
I will try to resist being touched as much as I can.
All right.
But I'll probably eventually go through.
So
Stahl is a pain to touch.
Don't touch me.
but we all end up in the RV eventually. I'm guessing.
And then Kalmir will be last. Oh. It is pretty cramped in here, I assume now. I can see, so.
I mean, once we all disperse from this, central area, it's gonna have enough room.
Yeah, you pretty much all popped in at the same spot. And I'm the last one through. I shut the spell down, so no one can follow. And we're all together.
Is Cherry still sitting in the driver's seat?
Cherry was for a little bit, but then she got up and sat somewhere else because...
Okay, Tullus takes the driver's seat again.
Oh, he would notice the hot wiring. Maybe.
Probably.
He probably would notice it, but he's not going to say anything because he knows he had the keys.
Yeah. It's not easy to hide.
Put your wires hanging out.
And they weren't trying anyway because this car was already stolen.
Yeah, no one here has a license. You're not licensed to drive in the desert.
Not in this world.
Yeah. All right, so yeah, all of you are now reunited. It's been an hour.
3 groups.
Oh, don't worry. I'll give you 10 minutes before we split off again.
Tullus kind of turns around. So where are we heading?
It was to the central village to get more information. Yes?
To check and see if we were successful to find out what to do next. Yeah.
All right, then Tullus is gonna turn the RV in that direction and start heading back.
All right. So, you're driving for about 30 minutes. When the windows shatter.
Oh no, we forgot one thing.
No, there's nothing we could do on this one.
Yeah, so the windows shatter and it is deafening. Shockwave. I'm not even going to call for a perception roll. To see the nuclear billow of, well, not smoke, sort of smoke, on the horizon. Kalmir has, of course, no idea what this means.
No, but he's absolutely looking at it.
Yes, he's
Stahl is like,
absolutely looking at it.
Stahl's holding his chest going, I must clutch my pearls.
Ooh, look at it with Mage sight. Stahl, this is your energy.
How do I explain this? It's Kalmir. Here, it'll be best. It would be best if you provided some shielding against the oncoming. There's about to be a lot of heat about to hit after the shockwave. It would be best if you provided it would be best to provide some shielding against direct heat and radiation.
Well, I can just cover the window.
Okay. Shielding. I've got like environmental shields and stuff that should do. Cause hold on, I need to where's forces. Continue.
Not to interrupt you immediately, but given how nuclear detonations work, if you were close enough to be burned, you would already be burned.
That's true. Yeah.
Oh yeah, true. Okay. Then she probably wouldn't say that. I'm trying to think if there's anything directly dangerous about the shock, about what comes after the shockwave right now.
I mean, the shattered glass is kind of dangerous.
Yeah.
I mean, the physical shockwave extends further than the spread of the radiation. So
Yeah.
Well, luckily we're far enough that the shockwave
I guess
is not going to kill us.
that was the shockwave, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Luckily we're far enough that the shockwave didn't kill any of us. So there's that.
What made that
And
immense amount of energy?
and
I've
nuclear
never ever seen anything like that.
By the way, all our ears are probably ringing.
Oh yeah, none of you can hear each other right now.
thankfully, we didn't crash or overturn the RV.
It went sideways for a bit. Or would it be behind us? We went faster.
Not really, but no, the RV does not overturn. You're good on that regard. But the blast has happened. The ears stop ringing for a little bit, and unless anyone has any real desire to turn the vehicle a different direction or say anything now, we'll time skip back to the city.
Yeah.
Basically, just Kalmir marveling at the thing and asking question after question.
There's something's on Cherry's mind, but she probably wouldn't bring up because Stoic is still on.
And we probably don't want to go investigate a nuclear crater, so...
Speak for yourself.
Yeah, speak for yourself.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Hey, if the two of you want to, teleport yourselves on over there, you can. We'll keep driving home. You can meet us there.
Stahl will become the ultimate power.
Just like Gandhi said, give it 10 minutes and we'll split up again.
Oh, I'll keep it together.
Just to
I
be
will-
clear, like if I teleport over there, no, Kalmir wouldn't be able to bring me back, right?
Yes and no.
Not easily.
I mean, actually, no, I couldn't teleport you there. I need
Oh, that's
A
right.
You
link.
need sympathetic range, and neither of you had even been to the city. You were the two that didn't go.
yeah, so I have no connection to that city.
And even
But-
even the vampire me doesn't have a connection to that city.
Doesn't Stahl, in theory, have a connection because of the
As
energy?
energy.
And what is
A-
being
Well,
unknown
now-
directly as a sympathetic connection?
I don't think that's how sympathetic.
Yeah, no.
It's
Not
just like
quite. It's almost. I think for a different situation that could
Work.
but for this teleporting, no, it needs to be different.
just
like a-
because a person really likes hamburgers does not mean you can teleport them to a hamburger across the
Yes.
city. Like,
That.
Well, okay, to be fair,
Attitude.
all right, we're not talking about.
yeah, I was gonna say technically you're talking about if the person was made of hamburger, could he teleport them to a hamburger?
Because the toppings are going to be different. There might be different condiment. This is a new branch of Arcana we haven't discovered.
Mm,
The burger arcana.
But isn't the supernal symbol for hamburger the same regardless of what the toppings are?
Okay, now we're out. Now we're out.
I refuse to engage.
You're not talking about the difference in between the supernal symbols of a beef hamburger and a vegan burger. This is not talking. We're time skipping to the city. I don't.
okay. He has spoken.
I don't blame.
Kalmir has been trying to explain this entire ride to how it wouldn't work. Doesn't know what a cheeseburger is.
I think
What can I say except you're welcome?
Okay, now that's the MCA.
Okay, and this is
So,
it.
yes, time skip back. Do you have any specific place in mind besides Vitus's home?
We don't really have a like area for us to actually hang out at, and I mean Vitus doesn't really even want to hang out at home either, because his safe place in Haven has been moved to the RV. So I mean he really doesn't have any attachment to that house anymore.
Okay.
How would we get in touch with those in the know?
Okay, so real question though, is Vitus awake or asleep at this point?
Technically asleep, actually, because when you'd cross back out of the more deserty area, day sleep would have pulled him.
Yeah, the normal outside spell
Yeah,
zone.
because you'd be coming back in at around noon.
All right. So Tullus is just gonna say, aren't they the type of people that kind of just find you rather than you find them? So just make us.
Yeah, they did call us all together before.
Let's just make ourselves a known quantity again, and they'll probably come a running.
One can hope.
Did you prefer your home to our current situation? Yes, it's just generally no real setup to it.
To who?
She just says this to the room, I guess.
Tullus kind of starting to act like my father speaking to a room like that. But yeah, I miss Rome.
I do miss my village. I thought it was a fair-sized village, but seeing this is a bit overwhelming. It's a lot to take in, a lot I don't know. It's very interesting, though. But it's a lot. Yeah, go ahead.
My home is essentially a pile of ruins, so I'd say our current situation is pretty good comparatively.
Drew stays quiet.
Can I have Titania try to read him?
Oh, okay. All right.
Not that Titania would actually say anything, most likely, but she definitely is the type to just be trying to read people. Wits plus empathy. No willpower because, well, she only has 2 to begin with.
Yeah, I mean, it's empathy versus composure, subterfuge, or manipulation, or whatever you're feeling. I guess
He's not trying to manipulate anybody. He's just impassive.
Yeah.
I mean, so I'm not even sure what to tell you. Like he's just not trying to share, and so like there's a little sense of like trouble at home, possibly. You know.
She just kind of reaches over and pats you on the shoulder. Doesn't really even look at you, just pats Drew on the shoulder. She doesn't say anything or do anything else, though.
Cherry doesn't say anything about that. She doesn't even give her own answer. She just sort of sits.
This might be a good time to bring up the fact that, you know, this whole time Drew has had like a sword looking thing on his back that's like wrapped up in cloth, basically. Like it's just completely just covered. It's just there, and he's never like touched it or anything.
so little attention has been drawn to it that people forget it exists.
Like dog! Oh no, dog! I keep forgetting about dog.
I forget about dog too.
I know.
Don't worry, dog is fine. He's probably unsettled at Wolf God, but yeah.
Not to mention the nuclear blast.
Yeah.
Oh, his poor ears.
Mm.
Or
That first shockwave, yeah.
He's a supernal dog.
Hey.
Or he's a Tremere dog. We'll deal with it.
Ooh. Neat. I know.
Moving on.
Yes, but Kalmir doesn't know what a sword is, so.
But unless given any sort of other direction, Tullus is just gonna kind of pull the RV back up to the front of what used to be Vitus's place. Unless given direction otherwise.
Yeah. So as you... Well, does anyone have direction otherwise?
No.
We could take a detour to a nuclear reactor. That would be nice.
Are you feeling unwell?
I'm a little low on energy at the moment.
Oh. Oh, that okay. So it's not health.
Oh no, it's just Pyros.
Ah,
Are there any nuclear reactors on the way back? Yes, no?
Not on the way back. He'd have to detour to get to them. But there is previously been discussed there is one in the south.
Is everybody okay with that detour?
if these are the type of people that will come to us, then they will come to us wherever we are. Yes.
Fair enough. So, Tullus takes the RV south. Probably following Stahl's directions to be able to get to this reactor since he hasn't been.
So I was like sniffing like a bloodhound. Where's the nukes? Where's the
Okay. So, trip uneventful because I'm tired of roadside events. But yeah, you do pull up to what is essentially an old, abandoned nuclear plant. The only person that could recognize the design would be Jerry. It is U.S. designed. But the place looks abandoned, presumably because no one wants to live in a nuclear plant.
Speak for yourself.
This is on the the outskirts area where there's nothing maintained.
Random question: is there anything ghostly about it?
I don't see that as random, but sure.
Technically, no.
Fair enough.
So is Stahl just going in alone?
Yeah.
Or is someone else deciding to accompany Stahl on his adventure into the
I mean,
plant
realistically,
to see if there's nuclear waste still sitting around somewhere?
I
Sounds like a
mean,
bad place to be around.
yeah, exactly.
sounds fun? Kalmir will go.
Well, I mean, he can at least shield himself. Most of us can't.
He's curious as to how this works, how this being works.
But
Jerry?
also, Kalmir might not know that the energy would be harmful to him.
Was it explained?
Yeah,
I think so, yeah.
I feel like I think the first time Kalmir went to go heal Stahl, everyone was like, "Yeah, it's gonna kill you." Also,
Well, that's
looking
right.
at it,
And
with
that's why
Force's sight, you can force a sight would tell him it's dangerous.
And that's why Kalmir shielded himself when he was doing the recharge.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So, Kalmir and Stahl going into the nuclear plant.
Cherry is actually going to go over to Drew because she never gets to talk to Drew, because the last time it was very late and neither of them had slept.
Sounds familiar.
Yes. Where are you from? Well, actually, she already asked where you're from. What?
And it's a place she's never heard of, yeah.
Hmm. What is on your back?
A
If
weapon.
you, I suppose that much was clear. If you do not wish to speak of it, that is fine.
It's rather personal.
Fair enough. I am merely curious as this entire experience strange, and I wish at least for some idea of who I'm speaking to and
I have-
working with.
Been nothing but my genuine self.
This is true. At least as much as I know. Though I will take you at your word. At a certain level, however, it is good to know who you are. It is good to know who you're working with, even despite everything. Not necessarily because they might be hiding things, but instead because it is good to be able to understand what everybody is capable of, and understand what they do and do not know.
You're very inquisitive.
At
That
that,
is what
Titania can't help but laugh loudly.
It is what I was made to be.
Tullus kind of swivels around from the driver's seat. So you were made, eh?
In many manners. In a manner of speaking.
I think a lot of us feel the same way.
we were all made in one way or another.
I'm,
I was made.
Yeah, he was.
Oh, I guess technically, yeah.
That's what he said, in one way or another.
well, I suppose. In a perhaps more direct sense than many would than many can say.
I was hand selected by my father to become what I am.
He didn't have to reach very far.
That's just the way our family works.
I was at least much of what I was designed in a lab. I was created by Charon Corp in order to they raised me in order to make me a form of knowledge base for particularly for the supernatural.
I was chosen to lead my father's personal legion, and I rose through the ranks of my own accord, but do not be mistaken. Since I was birthed by my mother, my father's been molding me into what he needs me to be. Eventually, I will be selected, to my knowledge. I will rise to, well, unlife, I suppose. I was trying to think of a more poetic way of putting it, but my head's not one for poetry. And once that happens, I will be expected to carry out the line as he has. I don't get an out.
The only out I had was running away, being hunted. I suppose that is not too different from yourself.
How old do you think I am?
How old does he look?
No older than 22, 23.
Given my knowledge that you are a ghoul, you could be frankly many ages. Your physical appearance says sometime in your early 20s, though you could honestly be you could be in the hundreds for all I know.
Very astute and more or less accurate. I'm not sure if you know about the withdrawal symptoms I would have if I were to quit the blood. Let's just say, after this many years, it would likely kill me relatively quickly.
That is understandable. The Vitae is very addictive, particularly for ghouls. The only the main ways that is gotten around for those who decide to leave is either death, finding a new master, or hunting.
And then there's always the chance that we just rise again, pop out of the ground like daisies, if you will. Tolas kind of looks across at whoever's there. Titania's not looking at him, but looking at Cherry's and Drew's faces to see if he, has drawn any sort of attention or not.
He's got Drew's attention, and Drew is he's mulling words, and Drew would say, not dying is rather unnatural, and there are worse things than death.
True, but I don't know how much you know of my father. Death is not a barrier for him. I would end up in servitude even if I died. Just one way I actually get to keep my faculties. The other one, I become a slobbering, mindless ankle biter.
If you're mindless, would it really be you?
My body, and that's the only body I know. We're getting into this type of debate. I'm gonna need a very strong whiskey to talk this type.
I understand. And admittedly, yeah, I suppose got lucky to have a chance to leave. She looks over to Rose.
We all have our own challenges.
True.
I worry honestly a bit of home has decided to come here.
Yeah, I noticed you were getting ready to put that lady 6 feet under. I still don't condone violence against civilians, so we're gonna not do that unless she makes herself a combatant again.
I can support that sentiment.
She would deserve it.
A lot of people deserve a lot of different things, but they also deserve another chance.
Okay. Sorry about that. I've been trying to read something and it's just like I can't find what I want to find. But that's fine.
Give us a moment.
Yeah.
On that happy conversation note.
Yes. So specifically Kalmir, because Stahl doesn't care. Are you walking in with your radiation shielding up?
Of course, because otherwise I'll die.
I figured.
At least that's what he was told.
Well, I
energy
can
looks
make you a
dangerous.
Promethean, it'd be...
Well, if metagamey, if this place is not destroyed, everything should be contained.
If everything
Yes.
is contained, there's nothing there for Stahl.
That's true
But
as well.
it's not contained.
There you go. So, yes.
Yes.
My special shield.
Yeah, so almost immediately after you get into the central building and start making your way towards where the reactor room would be. Not that either of you really know what a reactor room is. Stahl is going off of
Where's the strongest presence here,
where's
right?
radiation.
And I'm basically following him.
Yeah, you're basically just following. I mean, you can flick on your forces.
Yeah, I suppose I could do that. It costs nothing, and he's probably going the right direction anyway. So,
So, I mean, both of you can pretty quickly figure out that the hallways are radioactive. Very radioactive. a number of the old tiles here have started to crack, and almost growing like a crystal is a yellowish green, almost puke colored rock. It's radioactive.
Oh.
I swallow it.
Tastes pretty good.
I have acid stomach, so it's mine.
How big is it? Does he have to chew? Can he just...
Depends how much he's trying to swallow at one point. I mean, I leave this up to individual character. Are you like taking, a pebble, or are you grabbing a handful and just trying to gnaw? I don't know. That's not really my say.
Just try to, I don't know, take it in pieces, so that it doesn't like get stuck in my throat or anything, but
Kalmir, it's a strange sight.
It is a very strange sight. Here's a guy eating rocks that are putting off deadly energy. What is this even for? He asks. What is this energy for? All I can see is it kills everything. Except you. And me, technically, but that's a different thing.
well, unlike most of my kind, I require this sort of energy. For some reason, lightning just hurts me instead of healing me, so I had to rely on a more dangerous source.
Lightning. So others of your kind, like that brushborn one we saw earlier, that one eats lightning?
Yes, they're kind of like, they don't eat it, but they take it in. It's like, it's like your...
Yes, I know the word. I'm trying to think of the word. That's gonna bug me now. There's a word for when mages gather mana at Hallows. If anyone knows it off the top of their head.
I barely know Mage.
That's
Powering?
When I'm reading the book.
No.
Harvest?
No, that's. I think that's changeling.
yeah,
Feeding?
it's more of like a meditation type thing.
Why is Mage such a terrible book?
Backing
I
in?
can't find anything. Is it just under mana, maybe?
Might be.
This isn't really relevant.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
This
I
is-
say the word, so it's like this.
Oblulation.
Yes.
Whatever the. That's not how you pronounce that, I bet, but there you go.
Paul probably doesn't know Mage, but he'll just be like, yeah, sure.
Yeah,
So it's like, you're meditating at a place of power and you receive power in return.
I guess that's pretty similar, yeah. But my stuff is real hard to find. How much pyros did I get from eating the rock?
Pyros. You'll have to eat more rocks. But you do get pyros from it, so if you want to top your pyros off, feel free.
Maybe.
How long does it take passively, like sitting here in the middle of a broken down reactor?
Hmm?
Just how long would it take passively if you were just sitting here not eating rocks? I'm just curious.
Depends on the intensity.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Because I assume he's maybe got a couple just walking through. I don't know.
the hallway's not that radioactive.
I see.
It is increased because of other factors.
Hmm.
So it would take him hours for the interval.
I see. But here he can just eat it. Nice. Convenient.
If he went to the reactor, it'd be higher, but
that explains what you need it for, but surely they did not build this place for you.
Not educated on what other people use it for. It's, by the time I came around, it basically lost its use already.
That is a conundrum. This huge place putting out death. If Igor were here, he would probably die at first.
quite quickly.
Quite quickly.
Not relevant.
Yeah. Basically, the rest is just like small talk.
Yeah, okay. So, returning to the RV. So, as you two make your way out of the facility, you're almost interrupted by another person walking out another door of the facility.
Still death energy in here?
Outside, it's not bad.
Oh, okay.
But they walk out. It's a very average looking, almost uncomfortably average looking person.
Too average?
Do I sense anything from them? Like any azothic presence?
No ass off. But they do sort of wave you over, and it's just like, all right, are you done here? There's things to discuss.
Well, Stahl, have you finished gathering your energy?
Yeah, I think I'm about ready. Are you that demon we were looking for?
But that's not really important. Let's go alert the other group, the rest of your group. And they turn and start walking towards the RV. Whether or not anyone else is looking out the windows, they would see him at this time, as well as Stahl and Kalmir returning. Well, I say windows like there are windows. Like
There are no windows anymore.
Yeah, no. There's holes.
The apertures where the windows used to.
I mean, other than watching them get on the RV, Tolis is just gonna sit there in the driver's seat.
the demon doesn't walk in though.
Doesn't
Just-
or does?
No, he remains outside. Well, I have good news, bad news, and some curious news.
Start with the bad.
Bad news is things are still going downhill. Good news is, according to the nodes that we've been tapping into, whatever you've done recently, I presume it was you, as you came from that direction, one of the critical nodes has come back online. The curious news is that shortly after you left, one of the nodes started moving. Things that have been stationary for as long as we've been here watching, one started moving, and it converged on the node you just fixed.
So,
Information, please. What
The
happened?
node,
What do you
is the
say?
node
What do
that was moving broken, or is it still operational?
It is broken.
is the note?
What?
well, there
Is
was a
it-
gigantic wolf that ran past us twice.
Father Wolf.
Sure, whatever.
The great predator. Is that a node, as you call it?
The machine seems to think so.
Hey, finally.
Oh,
Well, Esme Standing Bear has gifted a tier 1 sub to the Warlord Gandhi.
I forgot I had this open in the background.
Want to thank you for that, Esme Standing Bear.
All right. So, yes, the Wolf Man. This is news. What did you encounter out there for record purposes?
A large Cherry begins expositing because that's what Cherry's good at.
Okay.
Cherry, a large city made of what could be called robots. It's not. They were not. They appeared to not be any form of supernatural thing, though they did have souls. They were.
did I say that?
No, he never shared that bit of information.
Yeah, I don't know if
Yeah.
that was ever shared, but
I don't think I did.
Oh, then I do want to share it then.
all right, so
Okay.
expositing. So yeah,
Yeah.
She exposits what happened from her perspective. Yes.
the demon seems to be listening almost quite closely. I mean, a lot closer than really anyone else you've spoken to.
See, Cherry would know up to which point?
Kalmir wasn't even in the city when Cherry
Yeah, I know.
broke
So
off the main group. So
it's true. That's
Cherry would exposit. Cherry would exposit the robot. She would exposit the giant cloud strike. She would exposit. She would exposit the fixing of the thing. She would exposit the wolves coming in. She would exposit she would exposit she would
Yeah.
exposit
yeah, okay.
Kane existing, things like that.
Yeah, we're okay. Summary of what happened the past like 5 sessions. Yes, okay.
Yeah. It's a lot of things.
Drew would, at the end of the summary, be like, and the robots have souls.
Did I say that to you too?
He saw them die and spoke with a ghost of one of
Ghosts?
the robots.
Ghosts aren't souls.
But for something to have a ghost, it must have a soul.
Oh, there you go.
Generally, yes.
Huh. That implies many things.
Kalmir looks at you funny. Does he know? Does he see?
Well, this is news and it will be relayed. Don't worry. I must congratulate you for fixing whatever was wrong there. I'm sure once things come back online, we'll be able to get a better picture of what's going on out there. But until then, it's safe.
I am
I must only encourage you to continue.
I
This is-
apologize for the nuked city. That was not
What?
directly our fault, however. There is some
nuke that
blame.
the nuclear explosion that we detected was not on any major infrastructure, so it is not really of a concern.
I suppose.
Ouch! Ouch! People die.
Cold blooded.
It's a deep.
I know.
Cherry's reaction. Someone roll to see Cherry's reaction.
The demon says this with the straightest face you've ever seen. Just completely casually just sidesteps it and continues on.
All right. Since we're rolling to see Cherry's reaction to that, should I roll for Titania again, or is this?
This would be
Anyone who wants to see how Cherry reacted to that. Technically, no one can roll if they don't want to, but anyone who wants to see how Cherry reacted to that.
Yeah, anyone can roll wits composure because this is a
Alright.
completely new scene. It's a completely.
You mean
new
wits empathy?
situation. Yes, wits empathy. I'm sorry. It's
No, you're
11
fine.
o'clock. I'm tired.
I got no empathy, but I'll roll anyway.
2.
How? Look at that! I'm empathic. And we all see.
So, and by
we don't.
extension,
Oh, crap, we don't.
so by extension, you know, this dude is like, bunch of people just died. I don't care because it wasn't part of the machine. We are also not part of the machine.
But we are doing.
We are valuable because we have a purpose. But we are not part of the machine.
So, who all sees what?
We all rolled 1 or 0.
Who rolled? Oh, did Tanya roll a 2? No.
Nope.
Technically, it ties.
Ty goes to defender and Cherry becomes the defender because she's.
I hate rules.
Yeah.
Wow. Even when we gang up on her, we can't.
No, I don't.
And no one else decided to roll. So you know.
There's got to be like a penalty for stacking multiple like. Since it's tied and I'm getting tired of these ties, I will leave it up to Cherry if Titania.
Okay. Did Tanya notice? I'm gonna say fine. Titania notices. Cherry has the reaction of, what the fuck?
Hey,
Just a very silent what the fuck. Like not saying anything. Just like very, very silent. Internally. But you know.
always sucks when somebody doesn't care about loss of life, isn't it? Titania's very clearly looking and speaking at Cherry.
It is something I am used to, though. You never really get used to it.
Nor should you. However,
You would think I would be used to the coldness of it by now.
I think we need a new heading. We seem to have a pretty strong suspicion that that gigantic wolf thing is one of these things that's broken. It's the only one that we kind of have any idea that, I saw it bank hard right when it exited the city. We have at least a general direction to head if we want to go after that one. How we're going to address it is another matter.
Hold on. You're going to hunt down the Great Hunter.
You have a better idea, smarty pants.
Kalmir just laughs. That is. Well, that's something. I don't have the words for that Nope, nobody hunts great the predator.
Pretty sure that's how Cain felt. Nobody hunted him. You saw how easily that got turned.
By
Father
the
Wolf,
great hunter, yes.
Father Wolf has died before, so I
I've
cannot
not
say
heard
that this
this.
is it. It happened after your time. He was defeated. He was defeated by 5 of his children. That is to say, the firstborn.
They
At this
betrayed him? What?
at this point, Titania can't help but just all of a sudden immediately start cackling at the idea of children killing their parents.
At this point as well, the demon will speak up and is...
I apologize for wasting your time.
I have time aplenty. I stand around and watch the imminent death of this world. What else could be more exciting? But no. The wolf is likely tied to this infrastructure. But if our algorithms are correct, we do not need to fix everything individually. We fix enough that the machine heals itself, and it will fix what remains. If you believe you can fix this wolf, do so, but I would not send you to your death.
I can take him.
No.
I do not believe you can.
No.
But
Both
so-
people who are
What Stahl lacks in intelligence, he makes up for in moxie.
I mean,
Skull?
guys, I can roll like an upward of 20 die now per sec. So,
Yeah, and I don't have dice pools for rank 8 Pangeans because the book doesn't give me them. It says do not roll dice pools because your players will not win.
yeah.
you never know until you try, you know?
You don't give Cthulhu a health bar.
Yeah. Those level of enemies don't have rolls because you're not supposed to be able to fight them.
Anyway.
Yes, so
I would very much not want to chase down Father Wolf for many reasons. Not least that I lack the skill to do much in spirit. Just a little bit, not enough to do anything to or for him. So if you say there are other places and eventually it will start fixing itself, my vote is for another place.
Fair enough. Titania says.
We saw what that thing can do. I don't want to be in its path. Not even
All right.
sure I would want to face it if we had an army at our back.
Well, Tullus goes, well, are you coming with us or not? Looking at the demon.
I have no desire to be torn apart by my still confused brothers. So no. If you recall, our exodus outside of the center tends to meet with destruction very quickly. Even this distance is pushing it. I do not wish to stay here for much longer than I have to.
All right, well, Jerry, spin your finger on that map and put it down, and that's the direction we're heading since we don't have a better direction. If you hit the wolf guy, we'll just retry it. It's cool.
The demon, though, at this point will speak up again and is like, we gave you general directions last time, I understand. Things have been fine-tuned, repaired since the critical node has come back online. There is more information if you so want it.
That would be useful.
Alright, so I know the stream cannot see this because we don't have map on the stream.
Mhm.
But I have essentially switched one of the boxes to be not crossed out anymore. And I put a question mark next to one box. The
Yes.
box with the red box around it is the one that just came back online.
That's where we just were.
So that's where you just were. The one with the question mark is the one that's now running around. Presumably
Okay,
Father Wolf.
So Father Wolf is still online, right?
Yeah, he's still up. You know, currently is like over here somewhere. But
Okay.
I can't delete things.
But
So-
nodes are apparently not supposed to move. So
Yeah.
They are not supposed to move. So I will start top left.
Mhm.
There is no reading from here. There's nothing. They have no information. They're
No information.
it's
Okay.
like you pull up a website and it's just blank.
404, or is it not even a 404?
It's just it loads, but it's just blank.
Okay.
The middle left, I guess middle when I have 4 here. Very strange readings they're getting from there.
That's helpful.
Completely interfering with sensors. It's contagion.
Kalmir has a bad experience with contagion.
The top middle is essentially just ruined infrastructure. Great deal of radiation as well from here.
We know where Stahl wants to go.
The one on the bottom, death. Underworld. They're getting readings from the underworld bleeding into their sensors. They should not be getting that.
Mhm.
The one on the right, the hedge, is bleeding into their sensors now.
And absolutely nobody cares about that.
Out of character. Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Out of character.
Don't go to the hedge.
You don't want to go to the hedge.
Will that
Hey,
one
look.
fix itself? I've got no fate. I can't do nothing for it.
So I will call it here for tonight, as we are at about that 2-hour mark, and I have clinical tomorrow. I have to go to bed. So I will very briefly ask a quick how your character's feeling. How are you feeling? If you have anything to say.
Well, just one quick moment. I want to thank Esme Standing Bear for giving the tier 1 sub, and we will see you all next time.
What's
Bye.
her words that worth?
What?
That's not a donation. That doesn't